Welcome. This is our gentle restorative practice for this week. And originally, I was thinking about being all restorative since we just had a new moon, but I think I want to add in a little bit of movement, and I'll tell you why. Because this morning I was on, it was after I emailed all of you and said it was going to be restorative. I talked to a friend of mine who meditates every morning. And she told me when she went into her meditation this morning, she had a strange visualization. She wasn't trying to manipulate the visual, but what happened in her meditation, the deeper she sat, she started feeling as though she was going down into the center of the earth. And when she arrived to the center of the earth, there was a massive coiled up snake that was sleeping. She said the eyes were as large as her body, and it was laying around a bunch of golden eggs. And so she thought that was a little perplexing. And we were talking about snakes. And she said, I always look at snakes as being symbolic of transformation. So that's what I thought we would talk about today with this idea of snakes, because I know most of us are a little freaked out by snakes or scared of snakes. We think they're dangerous or evil or, just slimy creatures, right? But in the Eastern ideology and philosophy, or if you look at ancient cultures, they looked at snakes as being symbolic of transformation. They looked at snakes as being symbolic of wisdom, of awakening, of mysticism, of protection. And even Shiva, when Shiva is depicted from the Indian mythology, he's depicted with a cobra wrapped around his neck. And that cobra wrapped around his neck represents the overcoming desires. We know that desires can lead us down good paths, but also bad paths in life. And it's not that we should ignore our desires, because we may desire to want to be or become something in life. We may desire to have a certain type of relationship in life. We may desire to change something about ourselves that's for the better. But there can also be those seeds of desire that can lead us, somewhere where we don't want to go. So basically, that snake represents overcoming desires. So I thought what we would do today is we would start with a warm up. And the warm up will take us into a sun salutation so that we can add in the cobra pose. We're also going to do anata or anatasana, and that was dedicated to a different snake mentioned in myths that lies at the bed of the ocean floor. So we'll do that as part of our warm up. We'll do a little bit of a flow and then restore. We're actually going to start off restorative by coming into a back bend. So you may want 2 blocks and a bolster. Now, the bolsters are typically rectangular. I'm going to use my round one today. It doesn't matter. But we're going to take the bolster to the low back or a few inches behind that so that we can recline, open up our palms, close the eyes. And as you turn your eyelids down, I want you to picture a coiled up snake at the base of your spine. In the yogic tradition, this represents the Kundalini Shakti, the creative life force energy awaiting to be awakened and utilized. Take some deep breaths in and out through your nose. And allow both your belly and chest to expand and enlarge as you breathe in. And allow both the chest and the belly to deflate and retract as you breathe out. Continue to take 7 more deep diaphragmatic breaths. Think about that Kundalini Shakti beginning to awaken, beginning to spiral up, and surf up through the wave of the breath. So it's bringing wisdom up to your heart and mind. Once you complete those 7 diaphragmatic breaths, come back into feeling your positioning and what this pose is offering. Let your palms turn open so the head of the shoulder bones can roll back. So you feel the broadness across your chest, the openness of your heart. Notice how your spine is bending and how it expands the belly, place we call the sea of chi. We're going to add in a hip opener here. So I want you to splay your feet into a V shape. Then slide your left foot towards you and your right foot in next. If this is too much sensation in your hips, you can gather the feet and tuck them underneath your calves for a little additional support. Otherwise, you can keep yourself in that modified Savasana and allow gravity to work for you. Now that we've changed our shape, return to the breath. Control it again. Notice how the controlled breath can help to relax and soften the body and any resistance. And then we're going to slide the feet away. V them out. And now pull the right foot in first and draw the left foot in next. So the feet are crossed the opposite way. And if you need that additional support, you can shimmy the feet underneath the calf muscles. Develop your connection to breath. Next inhale, let's bring the knees up, flatten the feet down, placing the right foot to the right edge side of the mat, the left foot to the left edge side of the mat, and then rock the knees to the right. Inhale, bring the knees back to center, and exhale, cross over to the left. Do this mindfully in sync with your breath. Keep it going. Windshield wipe twist. Feel it activating the IT band, that connective tissue on the outside of the leg, but also feel the twist occurring in your low back and belly. It's interesting because when you study the chakras, the desires are said to stem from the second chakra. Passionate pursuits and whether or not we act on them is part of the third chakra. And then, of course, the heart is the place of our intuitive wisdom that can help us to choose if it's right or wrong, good or bad. Let's roll over to the right side now and come up to sit. When you come up to sit, let's do a side bend. Hands resting beside us. Right arm lifting up. Exhale, curving. Making that side stretch. Inhale back to the center, elevating the left arm, and now curving to the side as you breathe out. Inhale back to center, exhale, relax the arm, and we're going to come down to one side of the body. So if you lower to one side, you're going to attempt to straighten your body, meaning your ankles are in line with your hips. Your hips are in line with your shoulder, okay? Your hand in front can help you to balance, and then flex your feet and push down through the bottom leg. The top leg, you're going to bring the knee in towards the shoulder and then fan the hip open. Drive the foot skyward, and this is Anatasana. Now the trick here is to see if we can take the hand away from the ground, hold the thigh, the calf, or perhaps the foot. If you find that you can't balance lifting that hand up, you can keep it on the ground, or you can bend the bottom leg, and that will broaden your base. Warming up our hamstrings and inner thigh muscles. And then on the out breath, we're going to release the static hold by bringing the hand down to help us to balance, flexing the foot, lower, and hover. Inhale, bring the knee in. Exhale, fan the hip open. Inhale, straighten up the right leg. And exhale, lower and hover with control. Inhale, knee draws in. Exhale, fan it open. Inhale, push that foot skyward. And exhale, lower it down to hover. We're going to do one more. Inhale, knee draws in. Exhale, fan it open. Inhale, sail it upward. And exhale, strengthen the hip and your core muscles by lowering it down slow and steady. All right, so that I can face you, I'm going to turn this way, but you're welcome to just spin to the other side. We're going to try to line up on one line. Top knee draws in. Hip opens up. Foot flies overhead. And then see, can you anchor the side of your body, the outseam of this leg, to create the handhold, perhaps. If you need it to help you balance, that's okay. If you need to bend the bottom leg, that's okay. How is it feeling for you this morning? Is it tight and restrictive? Or is it feeling pretty free and open? All right, let's descend the foot down to hover and hold. And then inhale, knee draws in. Exhale, open the hip. Inhale, fly that foot up, up, up and away. Exhale, keep the ankle flex as you control the movement and hover. Inhale, knee bends. Exhale, hip turns out. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, descend it down. We're doing one more. Inhale, knee pulls in. Exhale, open the hip. Inhale, sail it skyward. And exhale, slow, controlled movement, downward, and release. All right, bend both knees, and we're going to come up to stand. When you come to the top of the mat, you're welcome to have blocks available. We're going to stand with our feet conditioned down, legs fired up, shoulders back, arms down, gaze forward. Tadasana, standing mountain pose. All right, we're going to operate the body in such a way that we're going to imagine that dormant, sleeping snake waking up. Hands to prayer. Inhale, let your arms reach up and take a back bend. Exhale together and fold. Now let's just pause here for a moment. Dangle the head and the neck and breathe. And affirm, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. I choose to transform. So some of that transformation stems from the snake losing its skin so that it represents a rebirthing process. And in some places in the world, it even represents fertility. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins. Lengthen out through your back. Exhale, lower. All right, feel free to use your blocks because we're going to step the right foot back behind us. We're going to lunge the front knee, and then we're going to drop the back knee, shin, and foot to the floor. The hands are going to come away from the blocks. We're going to reach the arms skyward into Anjaneyasana. The right arm is then going to come down and catch the back leg, and we're going to open up the chest. As we exhale, surrender the hips and hands, move the blocks out of the way, curl the back toes under. We're stepping to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, press into your palm. Gaze back towards your feet. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, come to knees. Shift your weight forward, drop chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale, ground your feet, ground your belly, hands under the shoulders. Lengthen your leg bones back. Loop your shoulders away from your ears and come up to cobra. This is where we have a firm foundation on the pubic bone, on the front of the thighs, on the lower rim of the belly. You can use your arms to help to lift, but try to dominantly use your back muscles, your glute muscles. Breathe. And then on your out breath, lower. Inhale, push up through table. Exhale back to extended child's pose. Inhale, rock up hands and knees. Exhale, cat stretch back. Hollow out the belly and chest. Inhale, table, and step your hands a baby step beyond that point. Curl the toes, launch into down dog. We're only going to do 2 sun salutations today. Inhale, we're stepping the right foot forward and up between the hands. Now you could also come to knees, use your blocks to step the right foot through if you need it. All right, arms reaching up. Anjaneyasana, and you're welcome to stay here or take your left arm back to grab your back thigh and open up your chest cavity. Exhale, surrender the hips and hands. Curl the back toes, step it to the front of the mat, and fold on down. Inhale, prop up, sprout up. Exhale, let go. Inhale to stand. Back and complete the sun sal with the salutation seal, hands to prayer. All right, we're going to do one more. Inhale, arms overhead. Arch it back. Exhale, hinge forward. Uttanasana. In and halfway up. Out, lower the head and heart. Inhale, let's step the left foot back first. Lunge that right knee, use the blocks if you need to. Descend your back knee, shin and foot to the floor. Inhale, coming up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands to prayer. Twist to the right. Let that right elbow lift. Exhale and one. Curl the back toe, step back, down dog. Be and breathe here. Feel the angle of your body. Even though the energy is ascending up, through our effort into our sits bones, we're really manipulating the energy flow to come down to the brow. The place where we pick up that intuitive wisdom from the heart. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, Ajapani Pranam. Inhale, slither through to Cobra. All right, this time in Cobra, we're going to bring the feet closer together. The hands are actually going to hover, which means we're lower to the floor. You may even be on the base of your ribs, but keep shooting your legs back. Keep your buttocks firm. Keep your back strong. Keep breathing well. And if you're breathing diaphragmatically, you're rising on the inhale and dropping on the exhale. Bring the hands to the floor. Push up through table. Now, stack your hands below the shoulders. We're going to do a little different rendition here. As we exhale, we're starting off with cat stretch, like we did earlier. But then we're pushing back into child's. Okay, this is where we're going to change it up. Inhale, stay low. Scoop through, cow. Exhale, belly in, head bows, rock back, child's. Inhale, slither through, cow. Exhale, draw in, cat stretch to child's. One more. Now from child's, rock forward again, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we got to take that twist to the other side. So let's bring the left foot to the front of the mat. Sink the back knee, shin foot. Inhale, arms up, half lunge. Exhale, hands to heart and twist left. And breathe here. Exhale and wind, hands down, back toes curl and step through. Fold and release. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bow out. Inhale to the top. One more back bend. And exhale, hands to heart. Close your eyes a moment. We'll do one balancing pose before we come back to restoration. We're going to have the goddess arms. I'm going to face you for this. We're going to have the goddess arms up. And we're going to lift one knee and flare the hip and flex the ankle. Sometimes we move in this pose. It's called the dancing Indian. This represents our dancing Shiva today. And this is more gentle than the normal dancing Shiva pose. All right, we'll bring that foot down, hands down. We'll shift the weight, bring the goddess arms back into play, and then lift and flare the hip, the knee, the foot. Balance and breathe. And release. All right, so we're going to come back down. Now that we've opened up some circulation, we've opened up different areas of the body, I want you to set up for Stonehenge. So the bolster basically stacks over the blocks. Again, square or round, doesn't matter. And we're gonna stack the calves on top so that our back can really release here. Even though we weren't being terribly dramatic in any of our back bends, we still want to come back into a counter position where it can neutralize. And that's what we're doing here. Your hands can be on or off the body. Feel free to use an eye pillow or towel over the eyes. Just gonna rest and breathe. Let's go ahead and inhale, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, hug the knees into the belly. And roll over to one side. And come up. We're going to use that bolster. We're going to have it alongside the hip. We're going to lift up energetically and start to turn to face the bolster and lower upon it, creating a spinal twist. Slowly begin to slide the hands in, rise up off the top. And we're going to turn the body the opposite way. And approach the twist by lifting up on the inhale, turning and lowering on the exhale. I'm going to mute myself since the machinery is outside. Next in-breath, bring the hands closer to your body and press yourself up to take a seat. When you come up to take a seat, the soles of your feet will meet and you'll slide them out in front of you. We're going to lift up and slide the hands down. Hold. Take 7 full deep breaths. Up. Find a seat. Join your hands to prayer. We all be on this transformative path of yoga, awakening our inner creativity to create the life and the world we want to live in. The light in me honors and bows respectfully to that beautiful light in each of you on this day.